Yeah, it was weird because it was so early in the morning. You didn't get all them. Usually, if there's an earthquake and everyone's awake, it's like you get all the 20 million Facebook earthquake posts. We didn't get it. So, good morning at 7:36, containing COVID. We talk about this shooting that took place in Agani Heights briefly. We are going to read a very compelling and a tragic Facebook post later on in the show that's related to this, as I was able to touch base with a family member. So we'll do that coming up, 7:36.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning. Let's get the newly elected Democratic Party chair of Guam, Sarah Thomas Nededog, on. Good morning, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Happy day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear us, Chris and Bree?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, happy day.
Half a day.
Chris and Sabrina, how you all doing?
We're doing pretty good. I guess we'll just start playing a little catch up. If we could just go into this candidate petition drive and voter registration thing that happened over at Adelube that Ken Leon Guerrero is so butthurt about. What's the deal there, Sarah? How do you respond to these allegations that are being made not just by the Ken but also by the Republicans that come out with a release all about it?
Sure. The space where the breezeway is, it is actually in between the governor's office and the park. So it's a public place, and it doesn't even necessitate getting a permit. So it's open to the public, and anyone can come and use that space. Now, we gave a courtesy call to both the governor's office and to the Department of Parks and Rec to let them know that we were going to use that space that day. So that courtesy was done. But as you can see, the public uses that whole area freely to exercise or to walk around or whatever. So if people want to use that space, including the Republicans or anybody, they're more than welcome to just give a courtesy notice to to Adelube, to the governor's office, and to Parks and Rec, which is what we did.
So, Sarah, do you think that there was just nothing that warranted a violation of the Mini Hatch Act or any of those parts of the allegations? How do you respond to that?
Absolutely not. I don't think there was any violation of the Mini Hatch Act. I do know that there was a complaint filed with the Election Commission. So let's wait and hear further, because it's our contention that there was not any violation of the Mini Hatch Act. And so if the Guam election sees something that we didn't see or cover, we'd be more than happy to hear what that is and make the accommodations and changes to our plans, if any, down there in Adelube.
Did Ken Leon Guerrero sign anybody's petition?
I don't know whose petition he signed, if anybody's, but hey, if he wants to sign any Democrats or any Republicans, he's more than welcome to do that, of course.
And then the other thing I wanted to catch up on was when we had the first touch base with you after you got the chairmanship. We had spoke briefly about the relationship between Congressman San Nicolas and the administration, a little bit strained, perhaps made even more strained by the recent back and forth between the Gov and the Congressman. That being said, there's been some new developments since our last talk, and of course, I'm sure they formed a whole subcommittee in the House of Representatives to specifically address these allegations that were raised against our congressman, these allegations that were vetted through the Office of Congressional Ethics, these allegations that were then referred to the House Ethics Committee, where the determination was made in a unanimous vote to form a subcommittee to investigate the congressman for allegations that he's slept with a staffer, allegations that there was some funny business with the campaign funds. I think there was also an allegation raised here locally. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it on the federal side of allegedly the congressman. People were saying he forged his dad's signature. Anyway, so I'm sure just a reaction from you, and if at all, how has this changed what you said before?
Or even have you spoke with the congressman since we last spoke?
I talked to him briefly over the weekend, and we had planned to meet to have a more thorough conversation, but that has not yet occurred. So yes, we're aware of the movement in Washington, and yes, there's been the ethics committee has been impaneled, so that takes it to another level now. And at this point, our position is, we're going to wait and see what they do. It is within their realm to do further investigation, hold whatever hearings they need to figure out, the validity of the charges that are made against Congressman Nicholas. So, it's truly unfortunate that we've even gotten to this level. There's, that's very clear for all of us, not just those of us that are Democrats, but, our people at Guam,
Mm-hmm.
So I get that. And at this point in time, what we can do is wait and see what they do next. That's on the congressional level, right?
Right.
And I'm sure that the people of Guam, regardless if they're independent voters or party people, they're going to make their decision. If we proceed with Mike Nicholas in the as we go forward towards the election in August, the primary.
You said you spoke with him over the weekend?
It wasn't this past weekend. It was the weekend before. We had spoken very briefly, and the conversation was around us talking more lengthy about what the various issues were, but that call did not occur. So
was this after the revelation that there was a subcommittee formed to investigate?
That was actually before.
I see.
Before I became aware of that. Before I became aware that the House had impaneled a committee to look more deeply into it. So.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So how? I mean, what are you gonna do? You expecting a call from him? Because I feel like this is a tough job for you, because in the time that you said you spoke with him, he's since then gone on and endorsed Republicans on his Facebook page. He's put out a post that said I was kind of insulted because I'm a voter, and he said that the voters are picking incompetent leaders. And he went on and he said, "I'm just one man. I can't do it all. But I will quit if you guys only elect competent leaders, because I am the only competent leader."
I read that too, just like you.
Did you read it with that voice, though, Sarah?
Pardon me?
Did you read it with that voice that I am but one man?
Okay.
I mean, it's just ridiculous, dude. Like, what are you on, bro? Somebody check the congressman. I think he's homesick. He hasn't come home. All the COVID hasn't been here for months. I just think he's probably homesick.
Okay.
Well, we're certainly inviting him home and hoping that he's going to, meet with the people of Guam and talk about what's going on over there. I mean, he's far away and hard to get to. But, the bottom line at this point, Chris and Sabrina, is he's still the congressman. We're really going to take a position of, and of course, we would like, the ideal situation would be that, all of this is just a bad dream. But, at this point in time,
like a nightmare?
Yeah, nightmare.
Yeah, like a nightmare. But it's
I don't want to wake up. It's entertaining.
It's obviously going deeper, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
And we got that. So at this point, what, as a party, we can say, hey, Mike, figure this out. Come and talk to us, and then waiting to see what the House says. But it looks like the House may not meet. I'm getting some messages that the ethics committee, although impaneled, may not actually meet for a few more months. So,
Right.
gosh, we're going to have this hanging over our head.
Sarah, yeah, I know. And as you talk about protecting the party, how confident are you guys now in your candidate's chance? I mean, it's one thing if he's your guy, you know what I mean? He's your candidate and he's wounded, but, he's your go-to. You guys, have a great relationship. But here is a guy who's running under your party. There's blood in the water. It's recalcitrant. He's just stubbornly opposed to the Democrats on Guam. That's the fact. So when do you guys as a party go, man, I don't even know if, this guy can win this thing? And then there's all the questions about, party loyalty or whatever. So when do you guys say maybe we should run someone else? Just because we want to make sure, or we want to be, safe, or we want a Democrat in D.C.?
Absolutely. I mean, sure, we think that we should have a Democrat in D.C., and I would love to talk to Mike Nicholas. And so if he's listening or any of his followers, he has my number. I want to talk with him. And if not, if it continues to proceed in the direction that it is, then obviously the party's not going to have any other choice but to, push someone else to run against him. So the candidate filing thing is coming up. There's a lot of things going on Guam, and I know both parties are working very hard to get the message out to the people that we want to have great candidates run for all positions, at the legislature, for mayor and vice mayor, and for Congress. So let's see what happens in the next couple of weeks. I'd be more than happy to chat with you guys again, after the filing deadline.
Right, but I didn't really get your reaction when he made that Father's Day post, a day when you're supposed to be, praising your father.
Yeah, why didn't you post about your dad?
When you saw that, what was your immediate reaction? Were your jaw dropped or?
Yeah, well, I think regardless of what party you're in, I'm sure it was a big oh my, and disheartening for us as a party to see one of our own party people make those comments. And the reality is that he's a Democrat, but he's an independent thinker.
I think he's a Republican.
So he's going to do is.
I do. He acts like a Republican. The only thing is in the name, Democrat.
Yeah, I don't know that, but like I said, I really want to chat with him. So it's out here now to the public, to his supporters, and to him. Hey, Mike, give me a call. I want to chat.
Mm-hmm. Has anyone chat? I'm sorry. Has anyone spoke with him in party leadership since? I guess.
No.
I don't know.
I don't
since
so. I don't believe so. I don't believe any of the party leadership has spoken to Congressman Mike in the last maybe 2 weeks.
I wonder if he's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I pray for him all the time,
yeah.
And I want him to be okay. It's never a good thing to wish any harm or ill fate for anybody, yeah?
Right,
so,
yeah.
Definitely.
But you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that everybody has that one person in their family who just doesn't know what not to post on social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a couple aunties, like, really, you're posting that? All our business on, what are you doing? No! That's what it reminds me of. But you know what, Sarah? People get a kick out of it because they love the drama. Mm-hmm. And he thrives off these likes and these shares, but at the end of the day, I'm not sure that translates at the ballot box. I think I've always said
he won. He beat Congresswoman Madeline Berdalio, so he has his base, he has his supporters, and even when we post stories or people post comments about him, they support him.
Yeah. But and I'm not even disagreeing with you, Bree. I'm just saying that I still believe that he beat Madeline on a fluke, and I think that Madeline's people didn't take him seriously, which was a huge mistake, obviously. I think that they were busy promoting the candidacy of Senator Amanda Shelton, and they kind of just half-assed their way through the campaign. Mike kicked their butt, and Doris Flores Brooks is not a real candidate. So if he goes against someone,
wow, I don't think she would think.
No, I'm not saying a real candidate, but I mean, she obviously wasn't not real enough to beat him. So yeah, I'm just thinking if he faces someone real, I think this is going to be a true test, because I don't agree. I think these people who post on these stories, that's what they're just on social media all day. And there's a lot of people I know who spend all their life on social media, and I don't think they're voters. So I don't know, we'll see. It's definitely entertaining though, Sarah. I mean, what's he going to post next?
Right, but some of the things he posted, though, I mean, he was complaining about what's happened and how people have been waiting for their stimulus checks, their unemployment. So is that wrong?
No, it's not. I mean, he's definitely, and Sarah, let's address that, because it's not like, I think what resonates with people who support him is that he's being critical of the administration, and there are things that you can be critical about, but I just think he just goes way over the edge with it.
I mean, we talked about earlier, the legislature not holding Adelup accountable.
Right, yeah.
And, he's just saying probably what some...
No, and I think he's brilliant at that. He sticks his finger in the air. Everyone hates Adelup. Okay, I'm going to go hate Adelup too.
But then takes it a step
and then
further.
He takes a step further and he says, I'm the only competent leader.
Yeah.
You are nothing to me because you are incompetent because you are not me.
Yeah, I'm just surprised that the Democratic Party hasn't said enough is enough.
I would just give up. I mean...
I guess that's...
But Sarah, I mean, you're the mediation and Afamalic queen, and they're like, Sarah, this is all you, girl. But you can't even get him to sit at the table with you yet.
Yeah, and that's what we want. And as we said earlier, this is a very serious situation for the party, for the people of Guam. And we do take it quite seriously, and we have to make a move at some point. I am giving again, Congressman Nicholas the opportunity to come to us and have that conversation, and I hope that he takes us up on it. I hope I get a call right after this, huh, Chris?
I hope so. Let me know if you do.
Rita.
I mean, we're still trying to get a call.
Yeah.
And Sarah, whatever I'm saying, like if he called right now, I'd hang up on you and I'd put him on the air. Like, let's do it. Let's dance.
I wouldn't feel just if you did, okay?
You'd be like, thank God I don't got to do it.
Because I'll be listening in as well.
Right. Yeah.
So, this is important for all of us, and, we need to have someone there that we, have trust and confidence in. And I am concerned, but I would not at this moment throw him out. I will say we're going to give it a few more days and see where it takes us, Yeah. And like you said, in our familia, right? There's somebody in there sometimes that doesn't always stay with the program, right? And sometimes that's a good thing because it gives us a perspective that we probably wouldn't have thought of. So I don't throw out, when people have disagreements or conflicts that it's all bad. Yeah. I think that to a large extent it can be healthy because it does bring diversified perspective into, and we gotta talk about it and think about those things as well. Right. Yeah.
What about new candidates?
Hey, we're seeing some new people come in. I was pleased to hear several that picked up petitions and prayerfully will file. And some of those names, you've heard before. Like Fred Bradalio, Frank Leon Guerrero.
That's the Frank Leon Guerrero, former U.S. Marshal Frank Leon Guerrero?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. John Ananich, Chris Carrillo, Dave Duenas. I don't know. And there's a couple of committees that have been formed to...
Any females?
We have a lot of women in the legislature now. Yeah, and I think they're going to hold the fort and keep the Democrats the supermajority there.
Yeah, I saw Senator Theresa Lai filed yesterday, right?
Yeah, she did, and we're looking to see all the rest of our senators jump in the next couple of days. And as you were saying, it's kind of slow out there, and I understand that because we're in a pandemic, we're in a situation that we've never experienced before, and so we're focused on things that are critical to our people and making sure that we get support and resources for the average person out there. So that's what's happening, and I hear the Republicans are doing the same thing. Right. We got to take care of our people first and foremost.
Sarah, what about the supermajority? The Republicans, I'm sure you heard Tony, they think that they can take the majority. I mean, they think that the party's wounded. And what are you guys doing to ensure that you keep it? And I just don't, God, if you guys lose the majority, your life is going to be miserable for the next 2 years. It's going to be like the last couple years of Cabo Tenorio, but in reverse.
Well, anything's possible. And I've always said that, I will never say I know the electorate, that there's always surprises for me every single election. I am truly hopeful that we're going to keep the Democrat majority, the super majority at that. I think we've got great folks down there that are willing to work together going forward. So, that's our mantra now. And as you know, I came in, not even 2 weeks ago, and I've spent a lot of time talking with people to say, what do we agree on? And let's move forward, because our people don't want to hear all this stuff, this bashing going on within the party or between the two parties.
Right. That's what Tony said, the takeaway from the meeting you guys had. It was going to be this mutual respect. What was your takeaway from that meeting?
That's pretty much the same. I've always had respect and admiration for Tony and many of the officers of the Republican Party I've known and worked with or have had some contact over the last 40 years. And I believe, and that's what we committed to, is like, hey, let's be fair and respectful to each other. And if something's coming down, then let's talk about it. And I think this is historic, and I think that it's happening, and it's going to continue moving forward. This by no means says that everyone who calls himself a Democrat or Republican are going to come, fall in line. And we can't control all those different factors, but we can certainly promote it. And that's what we're committed to do between the Republican leadership and ours.
I remember you said that you had wanted to break bread with Senator Moylan when we first talked. Yeah. So did that happen?
Yes, I did meet with him, and he's another old colleague, and we had a good conversation as well. And I think we're gonna see some different types of messaging going forward from both sides, and at least from the leadership. And I think that's what the people expect, and that's what they deserve. We are party people, and we have certain values that some are similar, and there's some that are, our approaches may be very different, our following may be different, but, we did agree that we are concerned about homelessness, behavioral health issues, mental health, health care, and that we're going to be peaceful and respectful going forward. And that's what we're going to do. And, I hope that all party people and all of our people, understand the importance of this, especially right now. We shouldn't be spending a lot of energy trying to, tear people down, but try to find solutions. We're in a pandemic. We're in a crisis, one that we have not experienced. The world has not experienced before at this magnitude. So people need to put their thinking hats on and come up with ways that we can keep our people safe and healthy, and figure out, what our next steps are as a community.
Right. I wanted to follow up on something. You were just elected to the position, and just the day before there was some lively debate on a session floor with the Democrats and the Republicans, and then there was this press release. It was a little
snarky.
Yeah, from the Democratic Party, and you didn't know anything about it because you had just been elected. So you've met with the Republicans. Have you met with some of the Democrats, and maybe, you gave them a message, you better check yourself before you wreck yourself? I mean,
no more
no more pettiness or anything like that. Have you had those sort of discussions?
You're right. I did speak with Speaker Barnes, and that's a level of commitment that she's made to the party as well. So the governor, lieutenant governor, speaker, and a few other folks. It's like we've had those conversations, like you said. We can't be putting our energy into that kind of fighting, so to speak. But having said that, I also respect the fact that everyone is going to do their work and do their thing. And it's not, the party isn't designed to tell everybody what to do and how to do their job. I think the party's responsibility is to make sure that we have our values and our priorities clear, and that we have those discussions. And so we are having those discussions with everyone. And so far, I have been impressed with the speaker and the governor, lieutenant governor, coming to the same table and starting to talk. So let's see how things develop from here. I'm optimistic at this point. I haven't given up that the hope there of true reunification.
Right.
Well, you got enough optimism for the both of us.
We got to, right? I mean,
let me get in here. Sorry, Sarah. We're KUAM-FM at Gotnya, Guam. This is a KUAM News Takeover, Guam's favorite. It's containing COVID. And good morning to our viewers on KUAM TV 11. In progress, we're a talk with the Democratic Party of Guam, Chair Sarah Thomas Nededog. And what we're talking about is unity between the parties. Peace between the Democrats and the Republicans. What are you smoking? Sounds good.
Sarah,
though.
you still there?
I mean, it sounds great, Sarah. People, that's kind of what they want. They're tired of the fighting, I think.
Yeah, we have too much good work to be done, and we've made that clear to everyone that we need to move forward, and we need to be positive, and we need to find ways that we can, things that we can agree on, that we're going to work together towards, because as I said, these are dire times, and I don't think our people, nor should I say myself, have the time and energy to be bickering about stuff that is really, not worth the energy.
Yeah.
We need to be arguing, so to speak, by bringing different perspectives on, how are we going to get our kids back to school safely? How are we going to get people to come back to Guam? Is that going to happen? And if not, what's the contingencies? How are we dealing with the crime and with behavioral health issues? And we can go on and on. How are we going to build and keep our families together right now? I mean, they've been quarantined. Some of them don't know if they're going to have jobs when we open back up. Those are the things that I want to be in conversation with in our party, as well as with the Republicans.
Well, Sarah, we've got the Republican Party chair. He's putting his name into the ring. Are you?
I have not made that decision yet, and I really had no plans to do that. I think we've got a good slate, and let's see where it goes.
Have we had a Nededog senator before?
Yeah, again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think quite a while ago.
Okay.
Oh, why you think we need to have a Nededog in there? Kind of like
who let Nededog out?
There's your cafe song.
If you use that, I want $5. Well, Sarah, anything in closing, Bree? Are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, just keep on doing your good stuff, you guys. I mean, I enjoy hearing you, and I appreciate you always bringing the different perspectives to bear. So thank you for that. And right?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Yeah.
Thank you too.
Yeah.
We try and be cool with everybody, you know.
That's it.
That's how it works.
You do this, Mossy, you too, and we'll talk to you soon. And
Yes.
after the filing, right, we'll get together.
Yeah.
All right.
Definitely. Thank you, Sarah.
Take care.
Wash your
All
hands.
right.
Okay.
Stay well.
Okay. Bye.
That's,
8:06. That was a really interesting conversation.
Yeah.
She kind of sounded like Mad Mom when she was talking about Mike. You know, like, we're gonna talk. If he's listening, you better call me Maguette because already I told you to call me, boy. You haven't even called me yet. Are your followers here? You better.